Do you doubt your ability to learn a foreign language and speak it fluently? Well, today I'm going to share with you how I became fluent in French and the 5 things that helped make it easier and more enjoyable for me to do so. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that each time I upload a video about my expat adventures, moving abroad, or finding the confidence and courage to live life on your terms, you will be notified. Years ago, when I was in high school and college, I took French. And after 4 years of classes, I was not able to speak, read, or write French. But now I'm living in France, speaking French fluently, and being asked to be a translator for some English-speaking people who don't have a command of the French language as I do. And that feels so amazing to, number one, be recognized as someone who has that level of competence with French. But number two, being able to say, oh, sure, no problem, without hesitation, because I am confident in my ability. So I wanted to share with you today 5 things that have allowed me to learn French more easily and enjoy the process as I did. So tip number 1, have a meaningful reason behind wanting to learn a foreign language. For me, I knew I wanted to live in a French-speaking country, and I knew I wanted to communicate with native French speakers there in a deep way. And so learning French was how I was going to be able to do that. I also knew that I wanted to speak French once I first landed here in France so that I could take away some of the anxiety I might be experiencing when I did that. So that was my motivation, in addition to wanting to sound like the French sound when they speak French. So elegant, so smooth, so sexy. So have a meaningful reason for wanting to learn the language that you're learning. It will help you with your motivation and your discipline to do the work that's required. So tip number 2, believe that you can learn the language you're going for. Now, I spoke of my experience in high school and college, and one of the reasons I didn't learn French after 4 years of studying it in school was I didn't have a meaningful purpose. Yes, I wanted to graduate from high school and college, but I didn't need to be fluent in French to do it. I just needed to pass the class, and that's what I did. But the second reason that I didn't learn French in school was because I didn't believe that I could speak, read, or write French well. And that was because I was in the shadows of my brother, who is very gifted when it comes to learning languages. In fact, he majored in comparative literature between French and German in college. And I can remember my mom saying, oh, your brother, he's so smart when it comes to languages. And somehow I interpreted that as, oh, your brother, he got all of the language learning genes, so don't even try it. And so that's what I took on. And I didn't believe in myself. But many years later, when I decided, I'm going to move to France, I, number 1, was motivated. But number 2, I was no longer in the shadows of my brother. And I had achieved quite a few things that allowed me to believe that, oh, well, I'll be able to master French as well. And so for you, you might be saying, okay, yeah, I don't believe that I can learn a foreign language. One of the things that you can do to help to build your confidence in that is to look back at past accomplishments that you have made that you, in the beginning, didn't believe in yourself to achieve. Take those and look at those and say, oh, well, you did those things. Well, why can't you learn a foreign language? And each time you have a doubt about your ability to learn a foreign language, then remind yourself of that confidence anchor, as I call it. The other thing that you can do is you can say a daily affirmation. And instead of saying, oh, I'm not good with languages, say, I'm great learning languages. And in this way, with the repetition, you will start to believe that, and your subconscious will start to believe that, and you will start to let go of some of the things that might be sabotaging your progress. So tip number 2, believe that you can. So is any of this resonating with you? If so, I'd like for you to comment below what language you're trying to learn and the reason, your why behind wanting to learn it. All right, on to tip number 3. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Now, as children, we learn so many things and we make mistakes along the way, but we don't care when we're young children. Somewhere along the way, we start to be concerned with doing something perfectly, even if we've never done something before. And that holds us back from even trying. Or if we try, we give up too soon. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. For me, once it wasn't so much a matter of my being afraid to make mistakes in conversations. It was when I did have a conversation, they were very choppy and they were very unsatisfying because I was searching for the correct word in my mind. Sometimes I take out my phone and look to find the right word, and that just breaks up the conversation, gets in the way of just speaking. And so one of the things that a friend of mine shared with me, we went to French class together. He said, Patricia, I think that you'll get along better learning French if you stop trying to use the big word that you know in English in French and just describe the thing that you're going for, the word that you're trying to say, as a child would. So, for example, if I didn't know the word for cup in French, which is tasse, I might say, c'est la chose où quelqu'un met du café dedans. And in that way, the person I'm communicating with knows exactly what I am trying to say. It may be a very elementary way, might not be as intellectual as I would say it in English. However, it gets the point across. It keeps the conversation flowing. It keeps you out of your head, which is another thing that causes you to feel like, oh, I'm making a mistake, and kind of paralyzes you. So tip number 3, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Tip number 4, daily practice is a part of learning anything new, including a foreign language. So, practice daily. The way that I learned French before I came to France and took a proper French class was by using the Pimsleur method. Now, this is a program, an audio program with 30-minute lessons that you listen to daily. And I decided I was going to do this. I was going to do this on my daily walk, and I would listen to the lesson and I would repeat after the prompts. And so I did level 1 through level 5. And when I got to the end of level 5, I started again at the beginning with lesson 1. And while the earlier lessons, repeating the earlier lessons was very easy and sometimes hard because it was so easy, I did it because I knew that I could learn something new even repeating the lessons, because repetition is also how we learn. And so daily practice and repetition are keys to learn a new language. So make sure you bake that into your plan. And then finally, tip number 5, if you are learning a foreign language because you want to move to a foreign country and be able to communicate with them, start now. Start before you make your leap. And it might be tempting to say, well, once I'm there, I'm going to be immersed and it'll be so much easier for me to do that. But I want to caution you from that, because when you make a move abroad, it can be anxiety producing. And so being able to communicate, even at a basic level, can take away some of that anxiety. And what I am learning from life, and life continues to teach me this, is that when I set out to reach a goal, it usually takes a little bit longer for me to reach that goal than I had anticipated. And so by starting sooner rather than later, you will get to fluency sooner. So there you have it. 5 ways that you can make learning a foreign language easier and more enjoyable. Now, if you are interested in having more resources to help you to build your level of confidence, perhaps in learning a foreign language, or maybe even making that leap abroad, then subscribe to my free membership site, The Courage Catalyst, where I have over 100 videos, audios, and articles that will help you to build your confidence and courage so that you can live life on your terms. And you can do that by going to thecouragecatalyst.com/cc. Be sure to subscribe and like this video. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.